So when you're selling your business, how does the interactions between you and the buyer go? Let me kind of briefly describe it to you. First of all, we want to make sure that the sale of your business is confidential. So any information that we put out there to get buyers excited to call and contact us to learn more about your business, we don't want them to know that it's your business that's actually for sale, nor do we want anybody able to guess that it's your business for sale. So your business broker, whoever you're using, they should be pre-screening those buyers to make sure that they're a real potential buyer for your business. So what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, do they have the financial capability to buy your business? Do they have the experience or education to operate your business? Do they have the necessary licensing? And if they don't, how close is that? How close are they to getting that licensing? How motivated are they as buyers? And one of the biggest things is we're gonna have them sign a confidentiality agreement before we disclose the name of your business. And that confidentiality agreement is gonna be a couple things. One, they're agreeing to the fact they're not gonna tell anybody that it's your business for sale. Two, any information they learn about your business, they can't use to compete against you. And then number three, that any information they do receive, if they don't move forward, they agree to destroy that information. So it's a binding contract that they sign. Now from there, once the business broker pre-screens the buyers to make sure they're good buyers, at some point they're gonna wanna have a buyer-seller conversation with you. I believe that first conversation should be over the phone. I don't wanna waste everybody's time, and obviously you don't want employees to find out your business is for sale. So you don't want people trucking through your business in the middle of the day. So an in-person meeting would usually happen at night, would happen in the morning, would happen on the weekend when employees are not there. And obviously you're very hard worker, you're working a lot and put a lot of time in. The last thing you want to be doing is spending a lot of time at the office after hours, before hours, or on the weekend. So the first step is that I feel the first step should be a buyer-seller phone call, where we get everybody on the phone. And how that call works is that you would start off talking a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the business. We'd have the buyer talk a little bit about themselves, their background, what they're trying to accomplish with the sale, what they like about your business, and then from there, it would open up to a Q&A where they can ask you questions about your business. Now, I want to try to reduce the amount of calls that we have like that because they can last up to an hour. Obviously, we're already pre-screening the buyers, but I like to go one step further. And what I'm about to tell you, you're not required to do it. Some people don't feel comfortable doing it, but it's great if you did because it really reduces the time you're gonna spend on those buyer-seller phone calls. So a lot of the questions that a buyer asks on that call are questions that I've already asked you, that I've already told them verbally, or they are in the CBR, the confidential business review that they've already seen. But the thing is, they wanna hear it from you. They can read it, they can hear it from me, but they want to hear it from you. So what I do now is I have what I call seller interviews, where you and I, before we go to the market, we're going to jump on a Zoom call. This one will be recorded, and this one people will see. I'm going to record that call, and I'm going to ask you the types of questions that buyers are the most likely going to ask, and also industry-specific questions about your business as well. With your help, we're going to design these questions so that we're answering at least 90% of the questions buyers are going to have when we get on that buyer-seller phone call, and we're going to record it. From that recording, that is going to go on a private domain where the general public does not have access to that information. That's key because we want to keep it confidential, obviously. And we are going to put a link in the CBR, that confidential business review, of that interview so that the buyer can watch a 1-hour interview, me interviewing you for an hour. And they're not just reading it. They're not just hearing it from me, but they're hearing it from you directly on that CBR with that link. And you know what's great? I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it does a couple things. One, it reduces the amount of time that we spend on the phone with a buyer, which you will appreciate as we go through this process. And two, we're in a situation where the buyer's now asking deeper or more specific questions. They're getting deeper instead of just asking the general questions. Now they feel like I can get deeper in the business, so it's a more productive call. And what I've also found from this, which is really weird, is that buyers sometimes put offers on a business without even having a conversation with you. These interviews are fantastic, and I highly encourage you to allow me to do one with you. Again, you're not required, but I'd love to do one with you. It's a very unique thing. A lot of business brokers aren't doing it. They should do it. It's a fantastic tool.